Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome to this tutorial. We're going to be looking at how to create this really cool glitch text effect inside of Premiere, no plugins, and it is way easier than you think. So let's jump straight into it. So now that we're in Premiere, first thing we want to do is create a new sequence. So we're going to right mouse click, new item, sequence, and we're going to call this final. 1920 by 1080 is fine. Hit OK. All right, so inside of Premiere, the first thing you want to do is hit the text tool, come up and type what you want. Then, if you want that text center, go into graphics, edit, and make sure the text is selected, and just hit these two icons, and now that's completely centered. Go back to editing. So, because this is final, we're going to work into the project. So the first thing we want to do is right mouse click our text and then hit nest. And we want to call this text. So now that we've done that, we could add effects to this nest and it won't affect this text layer inside the nest. So it's like creating sequence in a sequence, kind of like pre-composing in After Effects. So now we've got our text. What we want to do is go into our effects, type in wave warp, and it's a distortion effect. So you drag that on, and already you can see that it's doing some weird stuff to the text. So we come up into our effects controls, make sure this clip is selected, come down, and we've got all our settings in here. So if we hit wave type, we've got quite a few different options that changes the effect on the text, but we want to go to noise. Now, as you can see here, the noise is going up and down, but we want it to go left to right. So all you got to do is come into direction, type in 180, and now the effect is moved from left to right, which is where we want to start. Now it is as simple as keyframing our height and width. So we just hit the little stopwatch on each side here, and we've created our first keyframe. So now that we've got our keyframes, we want to hit the first one and come into our wave height and just extend that quite a bit. And as you can see, it's doing some weird stuff. We might even bring the wave width up a bit just to create some more dynamic sort of particles. And then all we need to do is go forward a little bit and then just slowly drag down each one, go forward a little bit more and do the same thing until we hit 0. So if you have a look here, pretty simple. But what I like to do is just when it's hit 0, so if you go to our 0 and just go -10 or so, so it comes in and it's got that last little twitch, and then straight after just go forward about 3 frames and then hit back to 0. So then it comes in and sort of adjusts that little last bit. We might even extend it a little bit more. So you've got that last little glitch that just sort of fixes itself up. So that's the bulk of the effect. Now to make it a bit more cool, we can duplicate each of the layers by holding Alt on your keyboard and just dragging up. And now we've got the 3 text layers. And with those 3 text layers, we just want to go to the bottom layer and go to our effects and type arithmetic. And drag that on. And drag that onto each text. And then in the first one, drag this down, we've got our arithmetic settings. We want to change our operator to and then on our red value, just take that up to the max, which is 255. And we just want to do that the same on the next one, change that to and, except on this one, we want to turn our green value up to 255. And on the last one, change to and again, and then our blue value here, take that up to 255. So we've got our red, green and blue channels. and that's going to help our glitch effect. But as you can see, it's just got the top layer at the moment. So we want to fix that by, on our top layer, changing under opacity, changing our blend mode to screen, and doing the same for our second layer, change it to screen. So now it comes back to white, so our effect's gone. So what we want to do is just at the start, on our top two layers, we just want to off-center them just slightly. So we change this, our middle layer to 970, and then our top layer to 980. So as you can see, it started to create this quite cool effect where you can see the red, green, and blue channels, and where they all meet up, you've got the white. But we don't want to end it like that. We want to end with it being white. So what we want to do is just before it finishes the effect, we want to get the top layer, hit a keyframe, and then when it finishes the effect, we want to hit 960, and that just brings that back together, so it goes back to white. And we want to do the same thing on our second layer. We just want to go to the keyframe, click our second layer, hit the stopwatch, then go back up, find where the next keyframe finishes on the top layer, click back onto our second layer, and then just change this back down to 960. And that brings it to white. So if we have a look at the effect now, we've got our glitch effect. Now to really make this cool, what we can do is we can highlight all these clips, right mouse click, and we're going to nest again, and we're going to call this glitch. Hit OK. So now we've got our final sequence with our glitch nest. Inside of our glitch nest, we've got all these that we've had the glitch effect onto. Then if we double click into that again, we've got our text layer. So if we go back into our final comp, we can come over here and type in lens distortion. We go down, we've got the effect here, drag this on top of the clip. And what we can do is we can just keyframe the curvature. So we hit the stopwatch again, and we just drag that to about 50 or so. 59 doesn't look too bad. And then we want to go forward to where the clip sort of starts to finish and just hit 0. Now we have a look at the effect again. So it comes in sort of on a curve, and that just helps to sell the effect. Now the really cool thing about this is, because we've nested everything, if we go into it straight to our text, we've got our text here. If we want to change it, just hit our text layer, highlight our text, and just type in something else. Go into our final comp, and automatically it's changed. But even cooler than that, if you have, say, a logo you want to use, just chuck that on. So this is an Instagram logo, but because it's a PNG, but because it's black, we want to make it white. So we can go effects, type in ramp, pull that across. We can see we started to get a ramp. If we just change this top one to white, we've got our Instagram logo. And then we go into our final, play it through. We've got our logo. We can even make that smaller. Go back into our final, and it's adjusted everything we want to do there. Hit play, and there's our glitch logo. So pretty cool effect, and it's super simple. It's just a matter of nesting and keyframing, really. But you can use these principles across a whole lot of different things. All right, so that'll about do it for today's tutorial. If you did get something out of it, please hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more content coming. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below, or hit me up on Instagram at jarrod.peck, and I'll see you in the next one.